Hello, welcome. Mic, check. Uh, Very good evening to everyone that is tuning in. I am here. Alongside me is Mr. Tuan Faisal and Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi from Nexagate. Mr. Tuan Faisal, he is the Chief Marketing Officer for Nexagate, and Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi is the Chief Product Officer. And both of them will be sharing this discussion today on at this hour about ensuring continuation of ISMS implementation activities despite the pandemic via a virtual platform. Hopefully, those are tuning in. You will have a great input for this session, and you are most welcome to share your questions in the chat box. And after the discussion will be ended, and I will share those questions to the both of the speakers, and they will answer them accordingly.
Sure.
So I will not waste any more time. I'll pass this floor to Mr. Tuan Faisal and Mr. Ahmad Tarmizi.
Hi. Thank you, Asman. Thank you so much, and welcome everyone to this half an hour talk. And today, we are very blessed. Thank you so much, CYDES, to have Nexagate as part of the exhibitor and also giving us a chance to share about our solution to the participants and visitors who are here today on CYDES. So my name is Faisal. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer of Nexagate. I look into growth of the company, and with here to me today is Encik Ahmad Tabizi. He is the Chief Product Officer. So he is in charge of developing the cybersecurity software, which is the NSI, Unified Management Security Platform, that we develop in-house. We have 10 developers working tirelessly day to day to ensure that the platform can give the best solution for all our clients. But before we start on the NSI, even before I start with the company, I just like to give you a bit of a frame. So today, the topic is about pandemic and how and despite the pandemic, you do still have compliance requirements that you need to adhere to, certain activities that you would have to move forward with as an organization, because at the end of the day, information security doesn't stop. In fact, it becomes more important with work from home, work from anywhere, and all the IT infrastructure becomes desegregated, decentralized, with employees working from home and whatnot. So meaning that if an organization is going for ISMS, which is the international standards for information security, you cannot stop. You need to ensure that you continue business as usual to ensure that you get certified, you continue to get certified, and not get stopped or hindered by this. And unfortunately, the ISMS or ISO activities traditionally is very, very face-to-face in nature, right? So when it's face-to-face in nature, come pandemic, where face-to-face meeting is very hard to do, there is a big gap in terms of how organizations can move forward with their certification audit. Right, so that is what we are going to cover today within half an hour. Of course, we have a Q&A session, about 10 minutes at the end. What we'll go through is I will briefly tell you about our company, so you know where we come from with regards to the solution itself. I'll touch a bit about the solution, and then Encik Tamizi, who is our Chief Product Officer, will continue with a product demo on the compliance module itself. Right, so welcome. We are from Nexagate. We are a cybersecurity solutions provider here, and we are serving the ASEAN region. We are present in 5 countries now. Our HQ is in Malaysia. We have a sales partner in in Indonesia, and we have clients all over in Philippines, Singapore, and also Laos. We've been around since 2010, and our manpower has now increased up to 50 this month alone. And we, on our own, we are certified with ISO 27001 for all our scope of services, which means you can be rest assured for all our services, we adhere to a certain level of standard, international standard. And we are also crash certified for our penetration testing services. This is definitely for the highly regulated verticals and industries, the likes of banks, FSIs, telcos, especially when you go into the global market. Definitely CREST, which is an accreditation by a UK-based body. We are member number 200. This is very, very important to assure you that we uphold a certain level of excellence. In terms of end-to-end full service cybersecurity, we deal with three major pillars. The first pillar is the risk and compliance pillar, where we support and help our clients to establish and improve security processes, focus mainly on the ISMS itself. So we help our clients to get certified from end to end, right from figuring out what's the gap, coming up with the documentation, implementation, hand-holding up to the coaching before the certification audit with the certification body itself. So we can do up to that sort of delivery. The second pillar is on the security assessment, the usual penetration testing. However, we've moved from the usual web app, mobile app, network pen test. We've also ventured into IoT and cloud penetration testing. So because now, due to the digital transformation, we see that there's a trend of more information being put on the cloud. However, some of the clients would organizations have a misconception that that when they put the data is that it's up to the cloud service provider to make sure that it's safe. Unfortunately, it is a shared service, shared responsibility model. And that is where we come in. Once you migrate the data or information on the cloud, we can come in and do penetration testing to ensure that you have everything covered in terms of as far as vulnerability and settings is concerned. And for our more mature clients who already started investing on their own cybersecurity solutions, we have our managed protection service, because once some of the clients start investing in solution, they realize that, hey, we don't have the expertise to manage our solutions. And that's why since 2018, we built our own security operations center, whereby it's running 24/7. We can manage your licenses for you. We can monitor your solutions for you. That would include SIEM, advanced persistent threat intel, endpoint protection, even as simple as, having 5,000 license. How do you know if all the licenses are being used by your employees? So this is where we come in, as simple as that. And these are the three main pillars that we deal with. Next, yeah. In terms of awards, I would highlight that our NSI have been won the Malaysian Technology Excellence Awards in 2021 recently for the category of cybersecurity computer software. And this is a very big achievement, means that our solution that we've created based on our three pillars just now is being validated by the market. And another how we know it's being validated by the market is by winning the top 3 Cyber 100 Innovation Challenge back in 2020 last year when the pandemic happened. So we went for the challenge and we got top 3, meaning that it's being validated by the likes of Naxa itself. And the Cyber 100 program is under the Malaysian Cybersecurity Strategy under Naxa under Pillar 3. So we are very, very honored to have this solution as part of the Malaysian nation building agenda. Next. So these are some of our clients, banks and FSI. As you can see, telco and government, these are all highly regulated verticals. And we move on to the NSI itself. Next. So from our experience for the past 10 years, there is a shift in embracing digital transformation. And the digital trend is shifting towards digital transformation with the likes of Industry 4.0, where you need to start automating your processes, your machines, as simple as factories and whatnot, or healthcare, having to start connecting the X-ray machines to the internet to make sure that there's no downtime. Because the last thing you want is to have your machines down when it happens because of the servicing and whatnot. Even for factories, 1 minute can mean millions of dollars. So that's where it becomes some of the focus. In terms of branding itself, when it's COVID, you have to rely on digital branding, digital marketing and whatnot. So your website is very, very important. That is your mark. The last thing you want is to have your websites being defamed and whatnot. Next. Another consideration is IT/OT management, the access control, your CCTVs, are they secure? These are the kind of things that you need to look at as well. And finally, the last one will be on data management. You have all your information, be it if they are at rest or in transition, in transit, or you need to be able to classify your data. Next. So all these requirements, this digital transformation is where it brings on cybersecurity considerations and concerns. Like the first one would be in terms of data security, to make sure that you have the right processes in place to prevent data leakage. And security protection, to ensure you have the right protection across all your IT assets. Next, to detect all the threats, to make sure that all your endpoints, all your servers, number one, to discover, to know that they exist, and number two, even as simple as an IP printer, do they carry any vulnerabilities inside it that can be exploited by any hackers? And finally, security awareness. You have technology and process. At the end of the day, people is the last line of defense towards any cybersecurity issues. So the challenges that organizations face, number one, is in terms of the compliance needs to manage to control and record the compliance documentation. If you were to go for an ISMS, as I mentioned earlier, it is a very face-to-face heavy activity. Next, increasing costs. Next, manpower shortage, and last but not least, I'll just browse this through because this is something that I've already talked about earlier. Next, yeah. Right, for SMEs, some of them don't even have any information security policies in place. They don't even know what IT assets they have, and for some, they don't even know. They don't even install any antivirus to protect the endpoints. So, considering all these issues, coming back to the compliance, this is where we come up with the NSI, which is based on our 10 years of experience consulting in ISMS. So I send the floor to Cik Tamizi to continue. You are muted, Tamizi.
Hi, thank you, Tuan Faisal, of the introduction of the company and the product itself. So I'm going to share my screen, just a little bit a demonstration of what is NSI or Nexa Security Intel is all about. Okay. All right. As you can see on your screen, this is basically a main dashboard for NSI. So it's actually built for our experience, for 10 years experience of our 3 pillars of cybersecurity offerings, which is the compliance, threat, and protection management. Okay. So today we are focusing more on the compliance part. So on the main dashboard itself, you can see a general overview of the compliance journey for ISMS or ISO 2701. So for example, here, we are already at 60%. We can see when the certification expiry date, all right? So we can have a glance of how many change requests has been approved or still pending. Is there any corrective or preventive action is in place? And of course, because for the compliance, we will have a yearly internal audit, so we can have how many internal audit requests has been pending or has been approved. Okay, so throughout the journey of the compliance, we can see how many tasks still need to be done for the compliance process, and of course, how many documents that related to the compliance has been approved, or is there any document still reviewed or rejected or still in drafting process. Okay, so if I go to the compliance dashboard from the main dashboard, all right, so this is a quite detailed overview of the compliance journey itself. So inside Nexagate, we implement what we call as Nexagate's 5 I's implement methodology of compliance process. Okay, so the 5 I's is identify, initiate, implement, inquire, and improve. So from this dashboard, we can see the journey of the compliance for this particular client. So currently, is in the inquire, still inquire phase. See, almost there, all right, to achieve the improved phase. So on any stakeholders that have access to the NSI, they can quickly log into the NSI. I can see, okay, on which part of the journey they are on right now, right? So everything is centralized. I can be access to multiple stakeholders from the top level of management until the towards the executive part, and of course to the auditors as well, right? So what's important in the compliance is the journey itself, which is the tasks that need to be completed throughout the compliance, the whole process. So from the implementation status, we can see which task is still already completed, is in progress, or is it overdue or still not started yet. Okay, so all the particular stakeholders can have access to this information without having to go through multiple level of information holders. All right, so everything is centralized throughout the NSI. So on the document readiness, we can see all the documents that have been associated to the compliance project itself. So I can see there's a lot of pending documents still need to be reviewed or approved by the approver or reviewer that have been assigned when they upload the document through the NSI. Okay, so on this document readiness, you can see which on the latest version of that particular documents and when is the approval date of that document. And they can, of course, obviously, they can view the document from this particular page. All right. So the beauty of the NSI is we have our own built-in document management system. All right. So from here, the auditor or the compliance consultant, they can view quickly all the change requests that have been logged into the system. All right. Is there any corrective or incident management has been requested? So what is the feedback from the internal audit? Okay. And of course, all the other documents from all the documents that they uploaded to the NSI. So here you can see the status of that individual document. Who's the reviewer? Is it still waiting for the reviewer or still waiting for the approval? Okay. All right. So if I were to upload the new documents into the system, all right. So I'm going to just quickly upload the document according to the placeholders. So for example, for this particular client, is all centralized under information security documents. For other clients that might have several unique workflows, the NSI has been designed to be modular, and we can accommodate to that particular workflows as well, right? So I'm going to choose which file I'm going to upload. So for example, I'm going to upload the document control procedure, and I could quickly assign who's going to review and who's going to approve this particular document, all right? So if I'm going to upload the file, I can specify if the file is a major update or major revision of that particular document, or it's a minor update or minor revision of that document. So let's say, for example, if this particular document is currently on a version 1.1, if I assign major update, it will automatically assign version 2 to that document. Or if it's only minor update, it can become 1.1, automatically assigned by the system. So this actually optimize the whole process of versioning. So there's no more manual versions going on. All right. So from NSI, I can also view the past versions of that particular document. Okay. So for example, if I were to see the previous versions of this document, I can quickly view, all right, that particular versions, the past versions of that document, so I can do the comparison between the documents. So everything is centralized inside the document management system inside the NSI. The other components of compliance module is where the user can log in their change request or corrective or preventive action. So I can quickly request if there are any change requests I want to request from the system. I can quickly assign who's going to approve my change request, right? So I can add the details of this change request, right? So there's no longer I need to Telegram or WhatsApp that particular person to perform the action that I could request for. So this can streamline the whole compliance process from beginning of the journey toward the end with all the documentation, everything already recorded inside the NSI. All right. So I think there's a pretty much of the demonstration on the compliance module itself. Because the other maybe for the next session I can demonstrate the threat and protection module inside the NSI. So our aim for the NSI is we want to simplify the whole cybersecurity experience for our users. Okay, back to you, Faisal.
Yeah. Thank you, Tamizi. So we open up for the some Q&As. If there is any questions from the floor, we would be more than happy to address the questions. And but meanwhile, while waiting for the questions, there are some things that I can further iterate. So if you can see how this can help you out is that number one, you don't have to rely on any papers or forms. You don't need to do things manually. Everything is on the system itself. So number one, you don't have to do double work. So when I say double work, there are two parts. One is in terms of the ISMS working committee itself. When you create the document within your organization, your information security policies, your procedures that you want to have in place, The approval process is all in the approval process is all within the system. It's a routed document management whereby you can all straight away assign who's the approver and reviewer, and you can nudge them. They will when they log into the NSI, they will see a list of tasks that they need to do. So that is all means it's hassle free. And with regards to the ISMS working committee itself, it's auto versioning. So everything is being versioned in the system itself. You don't have to crack your head when you forget which one is which version and whatnot. And the second one is also on the change request, internal audit, and also incident management. That those are routed as well. So everything is within the system. So traditionally, what you need to do is fill up a change request form, give it to IT. IT buys the server, for example. After it's completed, the form is being signed. Then you have to scan, and then you have to show proof to your auditor. That is quite a hassle itself, having to do everything physically. In the NSI, everything is within the system. You get nudged, and then it's all being auto updated. And when the time comes for your certification audit, everything is all in the system. You do not have to bring out a big file of paper, have to present one by one. Everything, all the proof will be within the system itself, with all the log reports and whatnot. So I think maybe from the MC, is there any questions at all? If anybody's wondering, it is the model is on a subscription basis. At the moment, if you do come to us for our consultation services, we do value add the system because we want you to use it for your ISMS. You can come to us for an ISMS consultancy, and we can value add this to you. Or you can purchase this on your own. It is on a subscription model. Right? There are different subscription ranging from if you are interested in the ISMS version, it can go up as minimal as about 3,000 per month.
Hi. Thank you, Mr. Faisal and Mr. Tarmizi, for that session just now. So I will now look at the comment sections and questions from the audience.
Five.
2023.
5 minutes tu ada MINS.
At the moment, we don't have any questions from the audience.
Okay.
But the audiences that wish to engage with Mr. Faisal and Mr. Tamizi, I have written down their email address in the chat box, and you can always go to their booth at floor 2 in the MDEC Pavilion to engage with them.
Sure. Yeah. Would you be able to see how many audiences do we have at this point of time?
Nantini, can you help in that request?
Just give me a moment. I have to check back end, which I am not allowed at the moment.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But we will share the insight later.
Awesome. Good to know.
Because in
So
our
we have
speaker viewpoint,
one more
we
minute
can't,
to end the session, yeah?
Okay,
in
sure.
our speaker viewpoint, we can't view the viewer count. That's why it is written 0. Yeah.
I see. Okay, got it.
Okay, there is one, I think. Mr. Faisal and Mr. Tarmizi from AADK Sal AADK. Wait.
Agensi Anti-Dadah Kebangsaan. Yes.
Hi. Is there any notification for the approval board in case if they did not log in to the system? Is it a cloud-based? I'll share this question on the chat box as well.
Sure. This solution is cloud-based. cloud-based, and we host it in Malaysia, yeah. So there's no sovereignty consideration and whatnot. It is cloud-based, but we can also have, if for some FSI, some organizations that they do not want to put it on the cloud, we can have an on-premise option. We do have a box so we can deploy into your private cloud, private network. And approval board, if they not be logged into the system. So now, every time a CR or anything that is raised within the system, you will get a notification within the system, and automatically an email will be sent to them. So when the board member, they log into their emails, they will get the notifications. If they have 10 approvals waiting for them, they will have 10 emails in their inbox. So they get nudged on the email itself, within the email itself, on top of them logging into the NSI. Because let's face it, sometimes people don't log into the NSI on a daily basis. They check emails on a daily basis. That's why we've designed it this way.
In future, we're going to have a mobile application as well, so you can have the notification push to your mobile apps as well.
That is within our roadmap. Within, I think, should be early of next year, we will release a mobile version of this. Yep.
I'm still opening the floor to audience to ask questions to Mr. Faisal and Mr. Tarmizi. We can wait for
Sure.
more time.
Yeah. We have 3 minutes.
I hope that's answer your question, Sal, ADK.
Yeah. So, Sal, if you'd like, we can have a session with specifically for AADK, and drop us an email, or you can drop us your email or contact number at our booth, and kita boleh continue the discussion from there.
Mr. Sal has answered yes. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a nice day. Yeah, we can even have a more personalized demo for you, but a longer demo, looking at the other modules as well. There's a threat module and also a protection module.
There is one. Before that, another message from Mr. Sal, AADK. Sure, I'll drop a message later.
Right, thank
Thank
you.
you, Mr. Sal. Another one is from Pan Bintulu Port, I think. Pan BTU Port.
Okay.
I'll put in the chat. During transmitting data back to cloud services, how is the bandwidth or encryption of data is done?
Right. So this I leave it to Cik Tamizi. It's a technical question. Hi. Okay. So obviously all the transmission between the client and server is encrypted through the SSL and the HTTPS as well. And our server has been, we are doing a periodic vulnerability assessment throughout the system. Okay. The bandwidth that consumed, it depends on how many the data that been transmitted. All right. Most of data is actually only text data, but some of the special like data, like the documents that you uploaded to the document management system, it depends on the size of that file itself. But because we designed NSI to be scalable, and of course we and put it on the cloud, which is based on a local mention zone. Sorry. So we are so everything is within. So the latency of the data is quite low. So the performance should be okay if you access it within locally here in Malaysia. Yeah. Oh, okay. Because everything is on the cloud, so you don't have to go through any secure any VPN to access the NSI. Of course, if you're hosted if you want the NSI to be hosted on your premise, then the users might need to access it through your network's VPNs. So everything is through browser. All right. Thank you, Pat. I hope we can hear more from you, Pat, in future.
Yep. Tam, maybe you want to show our end slide with our contact number in case anyone wants to. On the corporate profile, okay? In case anyone wants to. So we're based in KL, Eco City in KL. The last slide. There you go. You can follow our LinkedIn and our Facebook page as well. We're quite active on our social media. You can go to our website, www.nexagate.com. Drop an email at sales@nexagate.com. Most of us are in this mailing list, so I'm in that as well. So I will be able to address your email. Just mention, hey, I hear about NSI in CYDES, and I'll jump in and answer your email. You can even call us at 03-2935-9363.